The inside.
For clothes that twist and long.
I want my MTV!
Spider-Man and his amazing friend.
May 1988. The Cold War is still raging, and in the pages of DC Comics, things are heating up. When Nemesis is captured by the Soviets, the Suicide Squad gears up for a high-stakes rescue mission, only to be shut down by Amanda Waller. But Rick Flag doesn't take orders lightly, and he's bringing the fight anyway, and it's all leading to an epic clash. Or is it? Because this issue does something that might just make you want to throw it across the room. We're breaking down Suicide Squad versus the Justice League International, number 13. The creative legends behind it, and why this issue might be one of the biggest bait and switches in comics history. Let's dive in. When Nemesis, a member of the Suicide Squad, is sent to a Soviet prison, his team gear up for a rescue mission, only to be told to stand down by their handler, Amanda Waller. Defying Waller, Rick Flag assembles a team and heads out. Waller, enraged at Flag's decision, turns to President Ronald Reagan and asks for the Justice League International to get involved. Batman, who's been monitoring events and is eager to rescue Nemesis, is only happy to comply when the order is given. The Soviet Union catches word of the impending rescue and sends a group of Soviet heroes to counter. When the JLI arrive at the prison, they find Nemesis motionless on the floor and are shocked to find the Suicide Squad ready for a fight. The story continues in Suicide Squad number 13. Keith Giffen was one of the writers of this story. Giffen was known for his work at DC's Legions of Superheroes and Justice League titles, as well as being the creator of Lobo, Rocket Raccoon, and Jaime Reyes, the second Blue Beetle. Working closely with Giffen was writer J.M. DeMatteis. DeMatteis succeeded Jerry Conway as writer of the Justice League of America. He used the pen name Michael Ellis on his first issue of the series. When that title was cancelled in the wake of the company-wide crossover Legends, DeMatteis stayed through its relaunch as Justice League International. The Giffen-DeMatteis team worked on Justice League for 5 years and closed out their run with the Breakdowns storyline in 1991 and 92. The two writers reunited in 2003 for the formerly known as the Justice League miniseries and its sequel, I Can't Believe It's Not the Justice League, published in JLA Classified. Inker Al Gordon was freelancing for DC at the time. 2 years later, Gordon began co-writing with Giffen and Tom and Mary Bierbaum for DC's revamped Legion of Superheroes. Gordon took over the complete writing and scripting chores for issues 21 through 24, while continuing to ink Giffen's work. Colorist Gene D'Angelo began his career with King Features Syndicate, working on such titles as The Phantom, Blondie, Flash Gordon, and Brick Bradford. After 23 years for King, he started work on numerous DC titles, such as Action Comics, Superman Family, and World's Finest Comics. Al Gordon and Steve Leialoha both worked on the cover of this issue. Leialoha's career began in 1975 with the early independent comic book Star Reach, drawing the 5-page story Wooden Ships on the Water. Letterer Bob Lapin has contributed to over 400 comic book issues, predominantly with DC. His notable works include lettering for such series as Justice League America, Justice League Europe, and Doom Patrol. Additionally, Lapin collaborated with Scott McCloud on the acclaimed graphic novel Understanding Comics. Editor Andrew Helfer is best known for his work at DC Comics, which he joined in 1981 and assisted Joe Orlando in the Special Projects Department. He later went on to create the Paradox Press imprint for DC. Dick Giordano was credited as executive editor on this issue. Having worked and left DC in the 1970s, editor-in-chief Jeanette Kahn brought Giordano back to DC in the 1980s, initially as editor of the Batman titles. Giordano was named the company's new managing editor in 1981 and promoted to vice president executive editor in 1983, a position he held until 1993. This was not the first nor the last time that Ronald Reagan made an appearance in DC Comics. From Action Comics to Batman, Peacemaker to Teen Titans, the former president has appeared in 80 different issues. In the DC universe, Reagan was targeted for assassination several times, but he was saved by different heroes, like Batman, Booster Gold, and the Justice Society of America. He was succeeded by George Bush. In the Watchmen universe, Reagan was replaced by Robert Redford. The overall comedic tone of Justice League International was writer Keith Giffen's idea, introducing new characterizations to old characters. Guy Gardner was now a loutish hothead, Booster Gold was greedier and more inept than he had been in Dan Jurgens' series, and Captain Marvel displayed a childlike personality. Did you know that the cover of this issue and its follow-up Suicide Squad number 13 are two perspectives of the same fight? I had never read a JLI story before this. I'm slightly mixed on the whole notion of the comedic take on some of these characters. While there are no slapstick or laugh-out-loud moments in this issue, the overall tone doesn't sit well with me. I feel like including a major character like Batman is a huge downgrade for this character. From what I understand, JLI was supposed to be a list of A- heroes, and editor Denny O'Neil threw the writing team a bone and allowed them to use Batman. However, having it mix in with characters like Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Guy Gardner, and Rocket Red seems odd to me. The premise is fine. I like the build-up and anticipation of seeing 2 and perhaps 3 superhero teams clash. However, and this is my major gripe about this issue, this fight does not happen. That awesome-looking melee that you see on the cover is only a preview of the next issue. This is a serious bait and switch. I want to see Flag throw down with Batman in this issue. Near mint issues of this comic were selling for as high as $83. The value has dipped recently. You can find mint copies for about $57. There was a copy selling on eBay for about $2. The top selling comics of each month in 1998 sold an estimated 845,000 issues. The year was dominated by Marvel and the X-Men, with 11 out of 12 months dominated by that publisher, with either X-Men, Excalibur, or Wolverine as the top seller. DC's only entry was March with Batman, The Killing Joke. At DC, the Batman surge was hitting its peak, with Batman titles in 6 out of the top 10 titles for the year. Only a series of number ones from Hellblazer, V for Vendetta, Action Comics, and Green Arrow outsold the Bat in 1988. The release of Warner Brothers' Batman movie in the summer of 1989 sealed the deal for Batmania for the next few years to come. Of the top 50 comics sold by DC in 1988, only 2 titles from May made the list: Batman number 419 and Action Comics number 600. The ads in this issue were a mix of bronze and modern day styles. My absolute favorites are the Atlas body ads, showcasing everything from a 5-foot Lamborghini poster to the Roomerang, the indoor boomerang. TSR was promoting their espionage role-playing game Top Secret, while Olympic Sales Club was turning every little boy and girl into multi-level marketers and getting them to sell their products for cash or prizes. Nintendo was promoting their game Zanuck, and there were 50th birthday Superman coins for sale, selling for $18.95 in 1988, or about $51 today. I've seen one recently sold at auction for $1,000. DC was promoting 3 of their titles. The first being a reimagining of Flash Gordon for modern audiences by Dan Jurgens, simply titled Flash Gordon. It was a 9-issue miniseries featuring Flash Gordon as a washed-up basketball player who finds new purpose in life on Mongo. Dale is an adventurous reporter who is just as capable as Flash, and a gray-skinned Ming who is less of an Asian stereotype. The series ran for a planned 9 issues and was left with an open-ended conclusion. The second was a 4-issue miniseries called The Crimson Avenger. One of DC's earliest mass crime fighters, the Crimson Avenger started out as a shameless ripoff of the Green Hornet with a touch of the Shadow. When superheroes became big, a lot of the trenchcoat Avengers followed suit. The Crimson Avenger switched over to red and yellow superhero tights. The third is a relaunch of the Wanderers, who first appeared in Adventure Comics in 1968. In the new miniseries, all the Wanderers are killed and then recreated by Clonus, their controller mentor, with upgraded powers and drastically different bodies. The new Wanderers later solve the murder of their original selves and become agents of the United Planets. This week I wanted to find a comic shop that advertised in the original issue, and I was lucky enough to find one. New England Comics ran a full-page ad featuring all of their comics available and showcasing their locations. The Quincy, Massachusetts store has moved up the street from their 1988 location, and you can now find them at 1511 Hancock Street in Quincy, Massachusetts. Or check them out at newenglandcomics.biz. Thanks for checking out this video. If you want to see more, please hit like and subscribe. If you have suggestions for comics you want me to deep dive into, please leave a comment below. Please help and support real artists. AI is great for a lot of things, but not for creating art and replacing artists. Thank you.